Right now, we're going to talk some MMA. We're joined by the host of Ringside Report Radio Wednesdays and Fridays here at 10 p.m. when there are no conflicts. If there are, he's on a little later. RingsideReport.net is the website. You can also follow Dave Simon MMA on Twitter.com. He is Dave Simon. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Good. Very good. I'm trying to think. Is there a conflict on Wednesday night? Is there a hockey game Wednesday night? I don't know.
Maybe. It depends on...
Mokan knows.
Game 4.
That's right, Game 4. Yes, there will be a conflict.
8 o'clock.
Game 4 Wednesday night?
Yes.
Give me a break, NHL. All right, so I'll be on late on Wednesday. What about Friday? Another game on Friday?
Depends what happens on Monday and
The
Wednesday.
schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yes. All right, so
and
we're
then
good
Monday,
on Friday.
Wednesday if it's necessary.
Good. So screwed up on Wednesday after the game. I think the game went into like overtime.
2 overtimes. 2 games, 2 overtimes.
No, not last night. I think it went into overtime, but
Yeah.
that was for Wrestling Uncensored. Pushed the wrestling show late, and then on
Wednesday, it did go into
Wednesday,
overtime.
yeah,
yes.
overtime, and then that pushed us late. We got on like 11, but then we went on to like 1:30 in the morning
Wow.
because we had stuff to say.
Oh, all right.
We had things going on.
Now, Dave, I actually caught on one of the newscasts a little bit about the Ultimate Fighter, the way that that season ended, and very captivating or compelling storylines involved here, especially with the winner.
Yeah, the winner, Michael Chiesa. This guy lived out a movie. Truly, over the past 14 weeks, 4 victories in 14 weeks, which is unbelievable. This guy picked up 3 victories in the Ultimate Fighter to get into the finals. He beat Al Iaquinta as a plus 225 underdog on Friday night. Chiesa, during the competition, lost his father. His father passed away, and he left the Ultimate Fighter house for a day, flew to the funeral, and then flew back and kept on training, and then fought, I think, later that week. Chiesa
Was his dad sick or just out of the blue?
Yeah, I think so. And they were kind of expecting maybe something to happen, and it happened while he was on the Ultimate Fighter show. And this was the first Ultimate Fighter show that was live.
Wow.
As in years prior, you had a show that was taped over 6 weeks. So the whole thing would be wrapped up over 6 weeks, and then 2-3 months later it would air, and then 4 or 5 months after the competition actually finished, that's when the finale would be. But this time, since everything was live, we saw the live semifinal fights. Iaquinta and Chiesa fought in their semifinals 2 Fridays ago. Not this past Friday, but the Friday before. And then the very next week, 7 days later, they're fighting each other in the live finale. So this was a season where the guys were in the house longer than anyone before. They were in the house for 13 weeks when the thing was 6 weeks before. They were in it live. We really got to see them. And it's tough being in the Ultimate Fighter house. There's no TV. There's no cell phones. There's no internet. There's nothing but food, alcohol, and training. So it really is a grind, and Chiesa went through it, and he showed by going through the whole thing, by winning the competition, not only how physically strong he is and tough he is, but very, very mentally strong. This guy is one of the most mentally strong people on the planet. To go through the Ultimate Fighter house, to lose your father, and to win 4 fights in 14 weeks, just unbelievable, well-deserving of that 6-figure UFC contract and winning the Ultimate Fighter. Very, very impressed with Michael Chiesa, and I hope that he does good things going forward, because this guy really lived out like a movie. It really couldn't have gone any more perfectly. The UFC could take some of the footage just of Chiesa's journey and put out a documentary that I think would do very well. I would do that if I were the UFC, because Chiesa just had an amazing ride. Just unbelievable for Michael Chiesa.
GamePoints here on TSN 990. We're talking some MMA with Dave Simon of RingsideReport.net and Ringside Report Radio. And was that the only fight that we saw on Friday?
No, we saw 10 fights, and the main event...
10, that's a stack right there.
Yeah, well, it's standard. It's 12 to 10 fights every UFC card, so this one on the lighter side of things, I guess, for the UFC shows. Saw Martin Kampmann in the main event with a second-round knockout of Jake Ellenberger, stopping Ellenberger's run. He was looking very, very well for himself, and a lot of people were thinking that Ellenberger would be maybe making a play for a welterweight title shot, but Martin Kampmann stopping his momentum cold with a vicious knee strike in the second round of their fight on Friday night. Kampmann looks to be one of these top contenders at welterweight. I think the problem for Kampmann is going to be finding that consistency, as he's shown glimpses of brilliance and then lost fights and looked not so great. So I think the real trouble is going to be the consistency there for Martin Kampmann going forward. And it really does show you, odds makers picking Ellenberger as the favorite in this fight. It shows you how close this welterweight division is and how tough the competition is, where I think really any man can win on any given night in that welterweight division. And Kampmann, Ellenberger showing that. Ellenberger was beating up Kampmann, and then Kampmann, again, another come-from-behind victory for Martin Kampmann, gets the win over Ellenberger. He looks impressive, and it, again, shows the welterweight division very, very tough in the UFC right now.